Sir, thank you so much for talking to us today. Just want to understand, first of all, how is your experience so far at India Energy Week 24?
Oh, it's fantastic. 35,000 people, Prime Minister, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. It's absolutely fantastic. This is the first time for me and for us, ACME, to participate in the energy exhibition. It's really a very nice experience.
Okay, wonderful. What would you say is the main sort of priority for ACME to be present here this year?
I think energy security and India emerging as one of the large energy players, attracting a lot of investment uh, and getting affordable energy is one of the main agenda. And with hydrogen and ammonia, India targeting itself to become a hub for export. That's completely different from what India has been doing so far historically. Being an energy importer to an energy exporter would be a very fantastic change.
Absolutely. How about your green hydrogen initiatives? I believe that's something that is a big focus area at ACME. So, how do you see this plan and this strategy really being implemented here in India?
So we have multiple projects coming up in India and Oman and US. Our first project, of course, was the world first project which we built in Bikaner, Rajasthan. This was in 2021. This plant is running for more than 3 years in a continuous operation, producing about 4 to 5 tons per day. And we are loading one truck every 10 to 12 days and selling it to the local market. Uh, this is what was commissioned in 2021. Then we have our second project, Oman, where the first phase is 100,000 tons per annum, and that is going to start from 2026.
Yes.
It is fully contracted to the world's largest fertilizer company, Yara.
Yes.
And following that is very closely is Odisha, and that is our first initiative in India. And in India, we are starting much bigger. Our first phase is going to be 400,000 tons per annum to be built in stages, and that is going to start from 2027. But the very interesting part about Odisha again is that the volume has already been contracted to a customer in Japan, and we are targeting to send these volumes into Japan. The term sheet for this offtake agreement was signed in front of the power minister just week before last.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then we have a project also being developed in Texas, US, taking advantage of US Inflation Reduction Act, and that timeline is around 2029. And beyond that, we have Tamil Nadu and several other projects in the pipeline. So we aim to have a portfolio of about 10 million tons of ammonia projects by about 2032 of under construction, constructed, and in pipeline contracts. The model which you see here is actually the real model for our Odisha project. It's a 400 KTPA project in the near the port of Gopalpur, and this is uh, coming up in the Tata SEZ area. We have already secured the land. We have obtained all the necessary permits and approvals. The Odisha government is very enthusiastic about this project being first of its kind. They have also extended a lot of subsidy element to us. So uh, this is what is going to come in 2027. So very proud to be developing multiple projects in various parts on the hydrogen and ammonia side.
Absolutely. So, how would you say your projects, your various projects that you're initiating here in India, how does it really feed into India's energy transition goals?
So India, of course, is going to be a large consumer itself. So that's point number one. And my view is India is going to be a bigger consumer of hydrogen than ammonia. So most of the ammonia which we manufacture, not just us, our competitors as well, will possibly be heading towards the international market rather than domestic consumption. But there is, having said that, some domestic consumption in the fertilizer sector. India imports around 3 to 3.5 million tons of ammonia every year, and that can easily be replaced by green ammonia produced in India. But because our net zero targets are quite some time away, we don't need to immediately start putting those volumes into India. So India will be more of a hydrogen market. Hydrogen applications are immense. We have refinery sector in India, which is perhaps the world's largest hydrogen consumer. We consume around 10 million tons of hydrogen in these refineries, and we are building more refineries, so the hydrogen demand is even going to go further. We also have potential of using hydrogen in power generation, complementing with renewable and building RTC round the clock power for various states, and uh, there is also a possibility of using hydrogen in mobility segment, which is emerging very uh, fast in other countries and can also be adopted, especially for the heavy duty vehicles. And then there is a lot of emphasis on green steel and green automobiles, and also the green ports. Uh, and all of that is very well captured under India's green hydrogen mission. So we are actually very in a very good shape as far as India's position on hydrogen and ammonia is concerned.
Fantastic. So, with all these initiatives that you have in India and on a global scale, can you give us some insight as to what you see as the future for these various renewable, sustainable energy sources? Maybe some couple of key takeaways.
So I guess there will be there will be a number of projects which will come up, but the real challenge would be offtake, and that's something which I think we as an industry will have to tackle together, because one is to compete with each other, but right now I think the bigger competition is between green, which can be manufactured in India, versus blue, which can be manufactured in countries which are traditional fossil fuel providers like Middle East and even US. Uh, so we have to kind of use our all the diplomatic initiatives, G2G initiatives, and push India. India's green hydrogen and ammonia into these countries on a bilateral basis. So that will be one of the very key takeaway, according to me. And the other is to develop new applications. That is also very important. The low-hanging fruits in form of chemicals and fertilizer sector is one, but developing newer applications like power generation, mobility, and various other applications where you can fire ammonia directly in boilers and in turbines would really be very, very helpful in increasing the demand for hydrogen.
Yes, absolutely. And finally, just as a relevant topic, with the recent budget announcements, how do you feel about the new policies or anything stipulated when it comes to sustainability and renewable energy?
So we have. I haven't really gone into the details. First of all, it was not a full budget, so not many people were following it closely. But I guess a lot of incentives have already been provided by Government of India outside of budget,
Right.
especially under the National Green Hydrogen Mission. So we were the first company to win the first subsidy by the Government of India under SECI. And now they have come up with two more schemes. Their first scheme was on production side. Now they are providing incentives on the consumption side. So that's something which we will participate as well. And then there is a PLI linked to electrolyzer manufacturing. I think all of this is already part of the budgetary plans under National Green Hydrogen Mission. So I don't see any particular specific item which has come in this budget.
It's looking positive.
Looking positive, absolutely.
What is the sort of main thing that you're looking forward to here at India Energy Week this year?
So for us, it is a first time being present here. So we are seeing a lot of footfalls. A lot of stakeholders from not just India but abroad are also visiting. Some of these stakeholders we know already, some of them are new, and it helps us network them with them better and talk about various possibilities of cooperation, offtake. Uh, a lot of technology companies are present, and that's also a very helpful insight on what's happening on the technology front. So I think it's more for a networking. I don't think there is some real business which is supposed to happen here, but it just creates a pipeline for your future discussion.
Well, all the very best. Thank you so much and hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.